So I was finally able to finish and complete all of the legendaries in the Division 2 solo. And the Tidal Basin was the last one that I needed to do, and I finally got it done. Now, before I show you guys which is this video is going to be about the build and show you guys the gameplay of that last boss arena, I do want to point out that the fact that I have not done this before, because this mission and also the National Zoo, they are way too long. So when I try on my first times, if I failed throughout the middle of the mission, I would just give up for the day because it's just too long. But this time I just took a day and got through it, and yeah, it was worth it because this last part, which is the boss, I call it the boss arena for Tidal Basin, that's gotta be my favorite boss arena out of all of the 5 legendaries that we currently have in the Division 2. I love that fight, and the build that I'm gonna show you guys today is the best version that I found for it, because that part is filled with elites. So what I had to do is basically pick up the tank build that I showed you guys not too long ago and modified it a little bit to make it even tankier with some protection from elite. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna make my tank build, famous tank build for Striker, even tankier. Okay, so let's start off with the Striker battle gear. Obviously, this is the gear set that we had to use, right? I know, it's a very used gear set. People are sick of it, but it is that good. So the Striker battle gear gives you that weapon handling, which is very good, that rate of fire, which is really good also for DPS, and with a 4-piece we're getting Striker Gamble talent, which is what we all know, which is basically we gain damage as you hit your enemy up to 100 stacks. Now I do have the chest piece on this, which is gonna increase that 100 stacks to 200 stacks. So we're not gonna use the backpack, we only gonna use the chest piece. So that's about 130% weapon damage increase when we have full stacks, and you're gonna see I'm gonna have full stacks throughout most of this fight. Now all of them will have core attribute armor. Again, this is gonna be a tank build. On attributes, some of them will be crit chance, some of them will be crit damage. We want to get close to that 60% crit chance, which is going to be very difficult on this build. So get as much crit chance as you can from the attribute itself, because the mods, all of them will be protection from elite. On the holster, we're going to have again core attribute armor, and attribute in here will be that crit chance, as I said. The knee pads, I went with armor and that crit chance attribute right there. Last but not least, we have a gloves with a core attribute armor and an attribute crit damage. In here I do not have a beta gloves with crit chance. The rest of the build will be on the backpack, which is the memento backpack, very important for this build, you guys should see that coming. And also I have the chill out named mask. Now this comes from the Gilagar brand set, and by equipping one of it, it's gonna be a plus 5% total armor, which is kind of comes in handy on this build. We're trying to be as tanky as possible. So taking a look at the core attribute, we'll have armor again, and then attribute crit chance in here. Again, you're trying to get that crit chance a lot. And then on the chill out mask, because it is a named item, it gives you 2 mod slots, and we have 2 protection from elite in here. And then the backpack also 12% protection from elite. So with that said, if we take a look at the defensive stats, we have a 59% protection from elite. Now as you can see right here on the right side, I have 4 mods with protection from elite, and there is also a 10% that's coming from the talent from the specialization, which is the survivalist. So taking a look at specialization, yeah, survivalist is the one that I recommend in here just because of this talent right here, a 10% increase protection from elite. In this, the only specialization that has that. For weapons, obviously this is my favorite AR in the game. We went with the San Elmas engine. This is the main weapon of this build. I do have it at expertise 24, which is a 24% weapon damage. As a disclaimer, some of you guys wanted me to say that, but yeah, so I have a disclaimer, 24% weapon damage coming from the expertise. Either way, it has core attribute, assault rifle damage, and health damage obviously, and then attribute in here I recommend damage to target out of cover. The talent, it's great, but it's not the best part of this weapon. As I always say, the best part of this weapon is the mods and the weapon itself. Crit damage 20%, 30% rounds, 20% weapon handling, and then a 20% crit chance. The mods on this weapon makes this weapon incredible. Now for secondaries, there is a couple choices in here. You can go with a vector. That all of them are great, but I use the vector SBR 9mm for the mag size. The three of them, the best one for damage will be the tactical vector. This one right here has the more damage, but the mag size is the lowest. And then we have the ACP, which is basically the middle of it. It's like the balance between the tactical vector and just the vector SBR 9mm. The second option in here for secondary could be the ACS 12 or the named version, which is the rock and roll. Either one are great for you to gain some stacks and do some damage. Now on this actually playthrough, I did use, instead of the St. Elmo's engine, I used the Bullet King, and the reason why I used that is just to gain the objective of that last part, get it done, which is destroy those yellow boxes, and they take a lot of damage, not necessarily like burst damage, more like sustained DPS. And the Bullet King has the best one because it has kind of almost like infinite ammo. Now for the skills, I recommend the holographic distraction decoy and also the Crusader ballistic shield. The shield basically is going to help you gain then tankiness a little bit sometimes, and then the distraction decoy is very important to help you take the aggro from you. So for the stats on this St. Elmo's engine, we have 48% crit chance, and that's going to be thanks to the mods of the St. Elmo's engine. We have 20% crit chance coming from the weapon itself and crit damage, right? So again, this weapon is that good. And then as I showed you guys, for the defense, I have 2 million armor, I have 59% protection from elite, and the armor regen in here is not showing because we don't have the stacks from Memento currently. But once I have the stacks in my current build, I will get up to 58,000 armor regen. Now if you notice, my build has a lot of expertise on it. So I have 10 expertise on the bottom right here, 10 on the mask, 15 right here, and then 24 right here on the Memento. Now if you don't have that, I would say on the same build, if you don't have that, I think the armor regen will be about like just 50, like low 50, or maybe just 50,000 armor regen, depending how much armor you have. But still, it doesn't sound like a lot, the 50,000, but believe me, on that gameplay, the way I am playing, it helped me and it kept me alive. And many times I almost went down, but the build just carried me. It helped me because I just went around and grabbed the trophies, which people are lazy to go do, and they say I have to go get the trophies. But keep in mind, I start this without any trophies. I start the gameplay, I'm gonna let you guys see the gameplay. I start without any trophies, and as I go, I got the trophies, and then I got the armor regen throughout the gameplay. But either way, this is a quick build video, and mostly the gameplay. That's what I want to show you guys on this video. So let me know what you guys think. This is another build that I use for my legendary. So currently I have 3 best legendary builds, and 2 of them are tanks. I prefer the one that I did before this, but this one is for the specific boss areas, like this one where there is a full arena of elites and you need to be around them all the time. So some protection from elite will help you out. But my build before this one also just works just well. Either way, hope you guys enjoy. If you enjoy, a like on it would be super appreciated. And I'll catch you guys on the next video.
system reactivated. Serious trauma detected.
He's got no cover!